Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate you for having me.
Yep. Welcome to episode number 144 of the Blitz Take. I'm here with 2026 NFL draft prospect Caesar Magee from Northwestern State to get to know his story of how he became the real he is today and much more. So, welcome.
I can't. You can say it one more time for me.
Uh, Welcome to my podcast, and I'm excited to have you on.
I appreciate you for having me on. It's an honor being here.
Uh, how did your recruiting process go?
Uh, Out of high school.
Yeah.
Okay. First my junior year I played cornerback and safety, in New Orleans, Louisiana, at a school called St. Augustine High School. And going into my senior summer, it was recruitment was kind of slow. I think the most interest I had was probably from Texas A&M and M and Tulane, but no verbal offers or anything yet. Then going into my senior season, we had a lack of depth at the receiver room. I was still, kind of fresh at playing safety, so they decided to move me over to receiver. So I ended up switching to receiver. So had a good year. Was a heck of a return guy that year. One of the best return guys in the state in the 2020 class. And that's when I started to see my recruitment process start to pick up a little bit. Coaches from Tulane really started to see what I could do on both sides of the ball. Coaches from Tennessee starting to recognize what I do. Florida State started to recognize what I could do. And I say really from there, that's when I started to pick up my interest. But it wasn't until after the season where, it's really where my story began, I say. Day before signing day, I had some issues going on with my godmother, so I wasn't at the school because I was tending to her. And a coach from Florida State came by to drop off my national letters of intent in my hat because that's ultimately where I wanted to go. But coach at the time that I had at St. Augustine High School, he always wanted me to go to Tulane because Tulane still wanted me to play DB at the time. But I told him my heart wasn't really at Tulane because they didn't really show me the love that Florida State was showing me. So I ultimately decided to go to Florida State. And when they came to school to bring everything, that coach told the coach from Florida State that I was going to be flipping on signing day. So the coaches there said it doesn't make any sense to go through with the process, and we'll just leave them out to dry. So that kind of really messed everything up because I told all other schools, I was at Rutgers probably like 2 weeks before that, and I went up there and I told them, I love to visit up here, I love the weather up here in New Jersey and stuff, but I feel like I'm gonna go to Florida State. So after that, I was really lost on signing day, but it wasn't until Coach Lair reached out to me and said, we still have a place for you at home here at Northwestern State. So ultimately, I just ended up coming here to Northwestern State.
Uh, what is a typical day like for you during the off season, like today and on game days?
So off season, we don't really stop working. So it's off season, but we still got our morning sessions. They changed the schedule up a little bit. So I usually wake up around 6, fix me a little bit of breakfast, and then head up to the field house around probably like 6:30. Give me a little bit of treatment before our morning runs. Start morning runs around 7. From about 7 to 8, get a little break, give me a little snack in before our morning lifts. Probably go get in the Norman Tech boost for a little bit, then get it in with my guys in the weight room. Get out of there probably, I want to say probably around like 9:05 ish. Then I'll get on the field with more of my defensive backs here, and we'll probably go through a few stretches and go through hurdles and stuff to keep our hips warm throughout the day. After that, I'll probably go give me some treatment from about, I want to say probably like 9:45 to 11ish. Doing different rehabs and stuff. Ankle mobility, hip mobility, doing contracts in the hot and cold tub, cupping. Just get everything done while I'm there. And then after that, probably chill back home, come back home and chill with my roommates for a little bit. Probably hop on the game and probably go get some lunch and stuff. Just chill out for a little bit. Read, get in my Bible a little bit. And then lately, the guys here have been wanting to get extra work on the field, so we always head back up there around 4ish. So that's the schedule we've been trying to stick to. So after 4, I'll probably go back in the treatment room, get a little bit more treatment, and then after that, that's really the day. Come back here and make some dinner and just read or get on the game for the rest of the night, and I'm just chilling.
Mhm. Who in your family do you look up to and why?
One person in my family I look up to is my brother. He's been incarcerated for a while now. Probably since I was, I want to say probably since I was 14. And just the fact of his drive. When he ended up going to jail, he never let that overwhelm him, and he always wanted to learn more while he was in there. So I always think to myself, if I'm out here, living freely, why can't I learn extra? Why can't I put in the extra work if he's locked up and he's able to do that? So, me and him have a real good connection. We talk pretty much every day. So, he's definitely the reason why I'm at today.
What makes you a unique player on the football field?
What makes me a unique player on the football field is my versatility. My first 3 years here at Northwestern State, I played receiver. My first year actually on the field, my redshirt freshman year, I was on the midseason All American list. So, I have a knack and a tendency for things that receivers do. So, I feel like that's my most valuable asset is the fact that I feel like I can read what receivers are going to do off the line.
What was your favorite football memory playing back in your high school days?
Uh, that's a tough one right there. My favorite memory would probably be a kick return against Holy Cross, uh, school Catholic League game in New Orleans. They ended up kicking the ball out of bounds, and this is actually crazy story how I got my Memphis offer. They kicked the ball out of bounds to Memphis head coach and their DB coach. Yeah, he threw the ball back to me. He said, "Dang, I thought we was going to see you to, get a return today." So they ended up having to kick the ball back, and I told him, I said, "Hey, coach, if I return this, let me come out there to Memphis for the weekend." He said, "Hey, you got a deal." So they ended up kicking the ball back to me, and I was able to crib it for about 100 yards. They ended up going to Memphis that weekend. So
Uh, how many hours a day do you take the time to watch film to better your game?
um, I say I'll probably watch film as a we'll probably watch film as a whole, as a whole unit for probably about an hour 30. When I get back home, night sessions and stuff, I'll probably watch film probably about hour and a half on top of that. And then, that's just me watching it without asking any extra questions. Let me get on the board. So after I go through that night session, we'll probably be at like 2 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes now. I'll go back through one more time just in case it's, things that I feel like I messed up on, I'll write them down, or things I feel like my teammates need to be corrected on, and then I'll get on the phone with my position coach and then go through some things with him.
What do you like to do in your free time?
My free time, I really like to read and just chill. I like to hang out with my teammates. Build a connection. So it's crazy. Actually, a few of my roommates, two of them ended up going to St. Aug with me, so I knew them for a while. And then one of them went to our rival high school, but he was like my childhood best friend. So, we hang out here all the time. Go for drives, just hanging out in the city.
Mhm. Uh, what What is your plan for this upcoming season and for the future?
My plan for this upcoming season is hopefully to lead my team to a way better record than we had last year. Help guys in my room produce. Ultimately, I want to have as a whole, I want to have the best secondary in the conference, and I want to be one of the top defensive players in the country, not just at my position, but players. And they're also working me into the return game, so I also want to be one of the top returners in the country. Uh, Moving past forward that. I would like to make the league. I want to be the first person drafted here since 2012. So I feel like I'm on the right track to do that. Just got to keep grinding, and hopefully Lord puts me in that position.
Uh, Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come on and talk about your journey. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck. And I'll definitely keep in touch with you throughout the process.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you for having me.
Thank you. Have a good
All
day.
right, you too.
Thanks.